Hi, we're the 1975. And you're listening to Matty Orme on KCCLIVE.
Tell us a little bit about the band.
Tell you a bit about the band. We're I don't know, I suppose we're an alternative rock band from Manchester.
You've really hit it off this year. Did you expect to be as big as you have been?
I don't really know. We didn't really have any kind of grandeur ambitions when we set off. We were just very happy making records for ourselves. So we're very humbled by the way people have accepted what we do. I suppose we're quite surprised, yeah, but we're embracing it.
What's the highlight of the band's 10-year career so far?
I think the past couple of months with headlining shows, do you know what I mean? Just the feeling of this band really coming into its own has kind of been the most important thing we've really ever experienced. I think we've just, yeah, like you said, we've been doing it for a long time, and I think the way that our records were quite critically acclaimed, that was quite important for us.
Where's the inspiration for your songs come from?
It's just about my life, just about our lives, you know. It's just, we just write, I don't know, I suppose we've always just done it as our only form of expression, so it's never really been a question of honesty. It's just what we do and what we write about. It's just a kind of extension of our lives.
When naming your songs, where does it come from as songs names like Sex and Chocolate?
Sex is interesting actually. That I named that song before I wrote it. I said I want a song called, I remember saying that to Hannah, I said I want a song called Sex. For some reason, I don't know why at the time, but I did. And then that's what came out. Chocolate's different. Chocolate's a reference to the old Persian rugs. And it's slang terminology for certain things that people like to take near where I'm from.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you prefer gigging or recording and writing?
I would have originally said recording and writing like 100%, but since we started headlining shows, it's kind of like this incredible juxtaposition of it being quite nostalgic and it being quite fresh at the same time. So they're two completely different beasts, you know. I think my heart will always lie in recording and production because that's where I kind of fell in love with music. But playing live is something that I'm getting used to myself.
When you're writing your songs, do they all just come to you, or do you have to just sit down with a pen and paper and just think?
Well, I don't know. I think that's one of the only taboos left in the music industry, that people who work in the record industry, they don't like the idea of like all creative thought not being like divinely decreed. They don't like the idea that you can actually learn how to write a song. So I reckon partially half the stuff comes from, I don't know, just comes naturally with just the way, but I think because we've been working for so long together as a band, we've kind of got this musical vocabulary that's just unspoken, so it's quite easy.
What do you enjoy about gigging?
Yeah, I like what I touched on before. Like, I enjoy the fact that because we've been together for so long that it can be an extremely fresh experience whilst being very nostalgic and almost feel homely. I think that's what I love about, and kind of the immediate response you get from other human beings.
Where's your favourite place to gig and why?
Oh, I don't know, I've not played everywhere yet. I'll tell you that in a year. I'd probably go for, I don't know, I love Brighton, I love Manchester because it's our hometown, I love London, I love Edinburgh and Glasgow. There's so many great places to play. I look forward to playing New York. Our show's nearly sold out over there in March, so I'm looking forward to that.
Are you looking forward to gigging in Liverpool with the band obviously be coming from Manchester?
Yeah man, we recorded our album in Liverpool. We recorded our album on Lark Lane. We love Liverpool. We feel very, very at one with Liverpool because we spent so much time here and doing something we cared about so much. We lived here while we did the album. We can't wait to play, and we've never headlined a show here.
Have you ever played in Liverpool before?
No,
though?
we've played in like under different names in other bands and stuff, but not like a sold out show, never.
What's the best venue you've gigged to date and why?
We love playing the Academy in Manchester because we spent every fucking day in that venue when we were kids, like every day. we would go to shows like 4 or 5 times a week, and we would just be there constantly. So when we're kind of getting ready for a show backstage at the Academy and we're like hanging out around the back, that's a really big deal for us because it feels like we're kids again, but we're the ones doing the show. Yeah. I love that place. But I'll probably say New York after I've played New York.
Obviously you're off to America next month. Is New York the biggest city you're looking forward to?
Well, I mean, I get to go out and say like, hello New York, you know, which is what I'm quite excited about. But I'm excited for all of it. We're going to like Washington DC, Texas, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. I've never been to any of those places, so I can't wait, man.
Did you ever imagine that you'd be touring America?
Yeah, I imagined it all. I just never thought it would happen. You know?
What's the experience being like? I'm good friends with Zane Lowe. What was the experience like going on his show? Because obviously the show to be on at the minute.
What's it like? It was amazing. I mean, I love Zane, and obviously to get that call to come and do it was very humbling, very exciting. I don't know, man. We're just taking it in our stride. We're just so fortunate that we've got such big institutions like Radio 1 supporting us. We couldn't have done it without them, and I think they know that. I think I've told that them a million times, so they're probably bored of me saying that, but yeah, I love everybody at Radio 1. I think they're amazing.
What's to come in the next year for the 1975?
Probably like 300 gigs, an album, another EP, probably put another EP out as well if we get bored. We're just going to be totally consumed by this band for the next, I don't know, ages.
Where's the name come from?
The name comes from a book of scribblings. Well, not a book of scribblings. I acquired this book off a guy I met, like an artist I met when I was on holiday, and he just gave me all these books, and I ended up reading them, and there was loads of scribblings in one of them from like a previous owner, and they were all a bit mad and like suicidal, and at the bottom it was there was a date that was 1st of June 1975. I just thought that's pretty cool.
What advice would you give to new bands?
Don't be in a fucking band. No, I don't know, I'd say just take your time, man. Like, we've been a band for so long and we've been through so much shit. Like, we've danced around major labels and been courted by everybody and done this whole balancing act of not wanting to put any music out. Don't put music out until you're 100% ready and you've got somebody that you really respect validating that decision, because we didn't do that, and I've seen a lot of bands put out music when they're 16, 17 that comes back to ruin their credibility when they try and do something in their 20s, you know? We just waited until we were really, really ready. So that's what I would say, just wait.
Can you sum the band up in one word?